Hi. Well, it's time to share again. And this is, again, from a classic. This book was written by Neville called The Power of Awareness. And as you know, I've been sharing this with you guys for a while, but it's really important that we get this because when I say, visualize yourself in possession of the good that you desire. Think about that, really think about that, because, you might go, oh yeah, right, or whatever, write it out. It's another thing that sometimes I get a big, I get, not resentment, but rejection from that idea, because we have been taught not to use our imagination. From birth to age 6, all we do is imagine. You can look at, if you have kids, watch your kids, grandkids, watch your grandkids play for, forever with kitchen toys. They don't need elaborate stuff. And then what happens? People start saying, oh, what are you thinking about? Stop daydreaming. That can never happen. Those are your paradigms. We'll talk more about that later. This is really what I want to share with you today. Is from this book, and it's on page 138. And Neville talks about determined imagination. Determined. It's not a wish or a desire, it's a determination. Think about the last time you were determined to do something. And then what happens? You're like a horse with blinders on going down a racetrack, and nothing's going to stop you. I mean, nothing and no one, right? Okay, so let me read this to you. Determined imagination, thinking from the end, is the beginning of all miracles. And then he goes on to say, the future must become the present in the imagination of the one who would wisely and consciously create circumstances. We must translate vision into being, thinking of into thinking from. You've got to move from thinking of something like someday I'll, which as far as I know doesn't exist. Imagination must center itself in some state. Think about that. And view the world from that state. Thinking from the end is an intense perception of the world of fulfilled desire. You think about something and it's fulfilled, it's done, it happens. Thinking from the state desired is creative living. Ignorance of this ability to think from the end is bondage. It is the most of all bondage. It's the root of all bondage, with which man is bound. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is not bliss. If you think about a car, think about the last time you saw an accident and what happens to the people inside the car or the items inside the car. Okay, an item that doesn't have the ability to think. When the car stops, it keeps going. An object in motion keeps on going, right? Ignorance of the fact of gravity does not stop you from falling. You're still going to fall even if you don't know there's a law of gravity. So Ignorance of this ability to think from the end is bondage. It is the root of all bondage with which man is bound. To passively surrender to the evidence of the senses underestimates the capacities of inner self. It's so easy to believe something once you see it, right? I can see it. This is a mouse. Up until, 20 years ago, the only mouse I knew was one that squeaked and ran around looking for cheese. This was an idea. Everything that ever is or ever was is already here. We have got to learn to use our higher faculties, and imagination is one of them. So read and reread page 138 and think about what you want, what you really want. What do you really want? And then once you're clear in it, you want to see yourself in possession of the good that you desire. Use the goal card I sent you. Use it. It's right here. Okay, this is your goal card. You have the power to have it all. And on the back of this card, which is a nice small size, it's the size of a credit card, it's a business card size. Carry it with you. Look at it several times a day. Hold it. I made sure that the back of this card was blue. Why? Blue activates the reticular cortex. So again, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am. It's in the present tense. Thinking from. Okay. Have a better than good day. Until next time, this is Jan Payne empowering you to attract incredible possibilities.